I can't hear anything at all. Should we take these out? That was almost an exercise in jamming deaf. That was really interesting.
Welcome to another episode of Andertons TV with me, the Captain.
And I'm Rob Chapman.
And I thought a fun video concept title would be Classic Guitar Tone Battle. Classic Guitar Tone Battle, that's the video name. And what are the two most iconic, in my opinion, guitar tones? Gibson into Marshall, Fender into Fender. That's the two, in my mind, most iconic guitar tones of all time.
Brings to mind all sorts of very famous artists. You know, looking at both of these rigs, you think, you know, the Stones, Jimi Hendrix, the Beatles. You're thinking about people like Slash, Alice in Chains, Gary Moore. You know,
all sorts.
Well,
you got
everyone who's anyone.
Knopflers, you've got.
Yeah.
You said Dave Gilmour, didn't you? I think Eric Clapton. I mean, it's like so. We kind of went with old school. So not Rob's rig's not crazy old school. 59 Les Paul reissue. Obviously that is old school. But then a JCM 800 cranked to jahibas using the aux to attenuate it. Although what you're hearing is just the mic'd up sound. We're not using the room emulation or anything from the aux. Tube screamer in the front end.
Yeah.
Boom.
You look at that and you go, okay, that's a rock and metal rig. Done.
We'll have to get close-ups on here, but I'm not sure I've ever been in a room with a JCM 800 where the volume for the master volume is half the way up and the preamp's 3/4 of the way up. Woo! Anyway, and then the Twin, which is a reissue again of the 65 blackface Twin. Again, we are using this with an aux, but you can't see the aux because the only way the cables can plug in is to hide it behind the amplifier. So we did have this cranked to 10.
That sounded amazing.
It was a bit insane, but it probably wasn't that crazy clean Twin sound that you might be familiar with. So we backed it down to 6, but we're still using it with the aux because that's crazy loud even on 6. And then we've had to put earplugs in because it's just ridiculous. So do you want to just tone up yours and see what it sounds like?
I've just attenuated more because I can't.
Just can't do it.
So we were so loud with the earplugs, and honestly, I couldn't really hear what I was playing or what you were playing for the jam. So apologies on the jam being bull. So I've just attenuated a lot more, and now I'll be able to.
I could probably get
away with.
Oh, I don't know. That's no tube screamer. No tube screamer.
No, I'll add one.
Now, you know what the weird... I think this is an interesting point here. People pay £1,000 more than what you can buy a JCM 800 for over here to buy a JCM 800 clone to just end up with a sound like that anyway. I think all the clones do is give you that tone at a lower volume without having the attenuator.
Yeah.
I'd be tempted to sit and go, why are we all buying clones of Marshalls? Why don't we just buy the Marshall? And if this needs to be wound up loud to make it sound good,
Well, also,
get
you
the
don't,
attenuator.
you don't even need the attenuator. You could get an approximate sound at this volume just by dialing the preamp and the volume correctly. We can do it now if you want, just to show people how
Well,
it works.
if you put the speaker volume to 5 on there, it effectively bypasses.
Does it?
Well, it's like 80%.
Okay.
I don't think that sounds as good. See, I think it's gone
all you
fizzy
got
now.
to
You
do
see.
is that.
Go
All
back
it
to
is
how
is
we had it.
when you ox
Because
it,
I kind of, what were we on, like 3 and
yeah, when you
half?
ox it, you've got to add in more top end.
Yeah, put the mid-range back in.
Sounds monstrous, though,
Sounds
doesn't it?
great. It's bizarre, isn't it? Because we spend... It's something about Marshall amplifiers that, I don't know, you do need to gun it, don't you? And,
Yeah.
and again, it's a great sounding guitar.
I'm really
Great sounding
excited
guitar.
when Boss finally bring out their kind of
Tube expander.
Tube expander to do that with a tube expander.
Yeah.
I think it will be infinite.
Well, that's the video the whole of the internet world wants to see at the moment is Ox versus Tube Expander,
Yeah.
because we'll see which one is better. And you will see that on this channel soon. Oh, I love that. I love that. Anyway, Fender into Fender. I do need to attenuate downwards, if that's possible. Okay. Okay. So I've attenuated downwards for the sake of my hearing. So no pedals at the moment. All the reverb you're hearing is coming from the amplifier. I mean, again, without wanting to sort of plagiarize anybody's licks, I suppose. Did he use a twin for that? I don't know if he did actually. I think he was high watts at the time.
He plugged straight
the
into.
And I can't remember how Satisfaction goes.
Obviously, live you can't plug straight into a desk.
That's very true. Here's with the Dane, which I was using for the jam. Dane with boost.
What's that guitar, Lee?
It's, I believe, a custom shot Mike Landau signature guitar, if I am not wrong. I'm sure if I am, everyone on the internet will comment.
You're going to be wrong about something.
This is tune up. I want to hear what my guitar into your amp sounds like and what your guitar into my amp sounds like. Because one of my favourite twin users, I'm pretty sure he's a twin user, and he certainly had a guitar with a Gibson guitar with humbuckers on it, although not that exact guitar, was B.B. King.
Uh-huh.
So I want to hear what that sounds like.
Okay.
And of course, what are we doing?
So we swap guitars.
That's right, we swap guitars. So the Strat into the Marshall, well,
Who does that sound like?
I can't imagine. Although he would have had a slightly more vintage Marshall than this, so.
Well, the Landau does not Ingve very well.
Does it not really?
No, it's a bit flubby. It's because the...
Not heavy enough strings?
No, the strings are dead. So it's been... Oh, look at that guitar, it's the Landau, and played a lot. And the A string kind of goes...
Even the foot came off the floor then. Just
it does that. As you go higher, the foot comes higher. It's like it's controlled.
Oh, that was great,
yeah,
man.
I love this combination for me. I prefer the sound without the aux, to be honest with you.
You just want to wind it up, yeah.
I just want to wind it up and wear earplugs and be on stage. I'd say nothing sounds better than either of these in their natural environment on a stage, when you feel it on the floor as well.
Yes, these weren't built for YouTube land, were they?
No, they were not built for YouTube stuff. They're built for live gigs. I played so many gigs with both of these amps, but to be honest with you, the interesting thing is when you wind a twin up really hard, and you put, a tube screamer in front of it, it does sound, in many regards, sometimes a bit similar to that.
I just think that with the Les Paul was such a. I mean, this I was saying before. This is. I loved the sort of the BB Kingy kind of so. He says they're not playing very much like BB King. It's so loud and clean, this amplifier, it's just crazy. I take a bit of the treble off of the...
only thing with a twin is you gotta have some friends with you in the band.
It's very heavy, isn't it? I mean, hilariously, this one here is come out of some higher stock somewhere, and the handle's snapped off the top, which is, I think, probably not uncommon on Fender Twins, because the handle just is not built, I don't think, to lift a 700 kilo amplifier.
No.
What does this sound like with dirt? Can I know, careful everybody.
So I mean, not dissimilar to an 800 when you put the right pedal in front of it and gun it.
Modelling.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't do that. It gets nearly there, but it doesn't do that. And I know you can't hear what I can hear because you're only listening in YouTube land.
Says Lee Anderton.
Says Lee Anderton, and apologies to all the clever people that invent clever things, but...
I mean, have you heard the new 14 software?
I don't care. Because you know, what am I going to look like if I turn up with a Les Paul and a Marshall stack and a 4x12, or a Les Paul and my laptop?
No, I love these amps, but I'm just saying,
I'm sure
give it 5 years, you can have a little projector, project an image of a Marshall, and then use the 14 plug-in or whatever.
I'm sure.
It's indistinguishable.
I'm sure it's indistinguishable if you're deaf.
And it'll never make you feel as cool.
Yes. It won't do that. It will not do that. Because all the 14 can do, or any plug-in software for that matter, is emulate a sound coming out of a computer. It's like it can't be...
When you listen to an MP3, do you think it sounds much worse than a vinyl?
Easily, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
it does, but...
I remember once being in this is years ago, because I was never a big like vinyl fan or anything like that. I was of that generation where probably vinyl was what your dad had. So I was CDs, obviously, more, and then obviously more recently it's all streaming and MP3 and stuff like that. But I just remember being in the car 2 or 3 years ago, listening to music on my phone, like everybody does, through the in-car hi-fi. And someone just went, oh man, you know, I've got this, they had the CD of whatever the track was we were listening to, and they put the CD in the car hi-fi. And it's just like, man, it's just like massively more dynamic. And
yeah, like 5 years ago, it was stuff that modelled was like an MP3 against a vinyl. But now I think it's like AIFF, it's like lossless. It's like high-end WAV against vinyl. So it's so close, there are so many bits in it, that I don't think you can really distinguish. It's just me fighting the corner of everything. Tech is good. I'm a traditionalist. I crank up a valve amp and put pedals on the floor.
Yeah.
But I tried the 14 plug-in at NAMM, and I was like, well, you just can't tell the difference.
I think one day in the future they're going to invent a little pill that tastes just like a roast dinner. But man, I'm still going to be eating the f***ing roast dinner. And that's basically the truth. That's all it is.
So who wins, Fender or Marshall, Lee?
Probably Marshall with the Gibson. I thought that was the instantly more classically recognisable tone.
Okay.
But I had fun playing all of them. It was wicked.
It was good fun.
But most importantly, what do you think? What are your thoughts on modelling? I'm not talking about, magazine modelling. I'm talking about guitar.
I think everyone
modelling.
thinks that you should do some modelling. That would be great. You should do an Andertons catalogue in like fireman's
What about an Andertons
clothing.
calendar where every single one of the presenters is just in their underpants? As long as and Danish Pete can be December for you, because there's your Christmas present, all wrapped up in one.
With just a bit of Danish bacon across his boobs.
Just a bit of bacon
and a
across
sausage.
it. That's got to happen now. All the proceeds to charity, therefore none of the presenters can back out. Except me, I'm not doing it.
Right, yeah. On that note,
yeah.
Lee backing out. I've been Rob Chapman.
I've been the captain.
See you later.
Bye. Oh, shot. Guitar iron. Guitar iron.